This episode is brought to you by Bureau, our title sponsor. With 8 vibrant locations in Miami's best neighborhoods, Bureau is the perfect co-working place to work, network, and thrive alongside other entrepreneurs, creatives, professionals, and local businesses. Find your space at bureaumiami.com.
What's up, Builties? It's just Ben and myself, Felipe, here today. It's Friday afternoon. And we're sipping a cocktail. We're having a little tequila.
I mean, nobody else is working.
Yeah, so. No one's working. It seems like people are still on vacation, summer vacation.
Whether they're here or not.
Yeah, we can't find a guest here in the summertime. It's crazy.
We can't find anybody, so you fuckers are stuck with us.
Yeah,
sorry.
Exactly. So get your butts back from Aspen, the Hamptons, Europe, wherever it is, the Cuban Alps. The Cuban Alps. I just came back from the Cuban Alps.
What's the Cuban Alps?
It's the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oh, how was it?
It was beautiful. I was up in Georgia, did a little mountain biking.
Living that lake life?
Living a little lake life.
Oh, I'm jealous for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna go inside the built world. Warehouses, reports, and Cafecito Club.
We realize we never talk about ourselves, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, we actually absolutely hate doing it.
Our PR firm is making us do this, so if this sucks, it's their fault. But we just thought it'd be interesting for you guys. You guys seem to like the quarterly updates with Juan and Anthony. Well, that's been one of our top downloaded episodes. Those guys are a hell of a lot smarter than we are. But
for sure.
We'd like to share some insights, tell you what we're seeing, where we came from, how Built World started, and maybe give you some insights on some deals. We're going to go through some industrial stuff, what we're focusing on, what we're seeing in the market. We won't take too much time, but thought it'd be fun to give this one a go.
Yeah, let's give it a go. So as you guys know, we or some of you may know, we just launched Built World Advisors. We've been doing the Built World podcast for a little over 3 years. Ben and I started the podcast during the pandemic.
Right after the
pandemic.
Yeah,
21. So we're still sort of in the pandemic.
Yeah, people were still weird.
Yeah.
Masks were still around.
And we were just tired of sitting at home and wanted FaceTime with people. And so we actually reached out to Mike Feinstein from Bureau, where we're now hosting all our podcasts from. And he was our first guest. And we sat down with Mike, had a cocktail, and learned a little bit about him and his story. And from there, we just started inviting more people. I think we were really hungry for FaceTime with people too, and in real life meetings. And so we just figured, hey, we want to stay relevant in the industry, and let's just do this for fun.
I mean, that on top of the fact that I think COVID really made me dive super deep into podcasts.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a podcast about real estate, and all of them are just horrendous. I mean, it's just some stiff reading stats off his computer. We're hearing the fan buzzing in the background, like terrible audio quality, terrible content.
That being said, we're going to read some stats today too, right?
We might have to. I mean, I think what keeps our podcast, what we enjoy about the podcast is the biography of the people that we interview. I think that's really what makes it interesting, is hearing how people made it from where they were born to where they ended up, and every single step in between. And I tried to do my best to not let people squirm out of, where did that first equity check come from? Was it dad?
Was it mom?
Was it the uncle?
Yeah.
Did you earn it? I mean, either one is cool, but we're not letting people front on here. We want to know the real story.
Exactly.
So it's, we've learned a ton from everybody that we talk to. And I think that's one of the funnest parts, is all the learning that we get to do.
Yeah. And just the relationships that we're building too, right? And
100%.
So, there's nothing like sitting down with someone, having a cocktail. Real friendships come about and are established when you have a cocktail or a meal with someone. I think, when you spend some quality time and really get to know them and learn about them. And so, we figured we would use, we would want to meet with these people anyways, our guests. Why not record it and share those conversations that we would normally have, at a dinner or a lunch or, over coffee. And
unless someone's on their way out to catch a flight or another meeting, we almost always end up having, hanging out after the pod, having another drink, shooting the shit. There's always a follow-up. It's been a really incredible way to meet people and build relationships.
Yeah, and so we want to thank everyone, first of all, for all their support, all our guests. Thank you for taking the time and spending an hour and a half with us, 2 hours on a Friday, and learning a little bit more about you.
I mean, at least we do have good cocktails. Felipe and I are drinking tequila ocho right now, which is one of our mainstays. So we've been lucky that guests keep bringing in some pretty badass alcohol for us to drink. So that doesn't hurt.
Ben, you know what they say in real estate, if people don't know you, they're not doing business with you.
Exactly. That's why the Built World podcast works with top of mind public relations, because being a best kept secret sure doesn't pay the bills.
Paula Uspa Abbott, the brains behind Top of Mind PR, is a former real estate journalist, so she knows exactly what makes the media pay attention.
And let's be real, getting in the press isn't just about bragging rights. It's about building credibility, landing deals, and making sure the right people know your name.
Whether it's top tier media coverage, killer storytelling, or just making sure you're the one people think of first, Top of Mind PR has you covered.
Want to stand out? Hit up topofmind-pr.com or email info@topofmind-pr.com.
Because in real estate, if you're not visible, you're invisible. Ben, you and I are all about PropTech, and if there's one tool we absolutely cannot live without for a commercial real estate brokerage business at Gridline Properties, it's Vista.
Absolutely. Vista is incredible. We use it every single day, and we're always wondering, how do they do this? Every evening we get an email from them with real-time closed transactions. No more waiting around for months for the property appraiser to finally update.
Yeah, whether you're doing industrial, retail, office, land deals, they have every closed transaction. And it's not just the speed, Ben. The details are on point. Seller and buyer info, contact details, phone numbers, emails, everything is accurate.
It's hands down our top prospecting tool to farm for warehouse deals in Hialeah. Vista keeps us one step ahead always. It's also the best way to search for comps when putting together opinions of values for clients.
Head on over to Vista.com and use code BuiltWorld and get 30 days free access today. VIZZDA.com. So we've been doing the podcast 3.5 years now, we're loving it, and we decided to really go all in on the podcast about 1.5 years ago.
Yep. Once a week.
We started doing an episode a week, and it's really taken off. And so we've been in brokerage full time for 1.5 years, but we have a much broader background than just this last year, like where we've been fully committed to brokerage.
I mean, I've been in brokerage here since 2012. I came to Miami in 2010, was buying a lot of distressed debt back in 08, 09, 2010. That market dried up and I became a broker. I sold tons of stuff in Edgewater. That was really my area of focus, development deals. And then I was like, I really wanted to be part of that startup scene. I kept, that was kind of 2015, 2016. Everyone was raising VC money. Everyone was doing fun shit. And I'm out here just selling real estate. I'm like, man, I really want to be a part of this startup scene. And I had this great idea for a startup. I wanted to do a company that had real estate analytics because I was very analytical oriented. I really wanted to quantify, all the numbers, where the common owners were, where there were assemblage opportunities. And I even would build these giant maps. I remember printing out these maps that were like 12 feet by 4 feet, and I'd roll them up, and I'd go to like Edgardo de Fortuna's office. I was helping them with some acquisitions, and I'd roll this map out with all these. I had Photoshop skills from my art school background, so I'd Photoshop all the numbers on all the parcels with the corresponding owners, who's more likely to sell, who's not, et cetera, where the zoning is. And I'm like, I'm going to start a real estate data and analytics company. And this motherfucker pops up in Biz Journal with the exact, Felipe stole my idea, basically. I don't know how you got in my head. But I see this article pop up and I'm like, God damn it, this guy beat me to it. I better give him a call.
And that's where Ben and I met. We met at Gridix. I'd spent the better part of my career in private banking, international private banking, but really disliked it. And went and got my master's degree at UM. It's a master's in real estate development program out of the School of Architecture. So I was working full time, got my master's degree part time. Went to go work for Street Easy, which was then acquired by Zillow. Also had the startup bug. Worked for Zillow for a year, Street Easy for a year, and then decided to start Gridix with 2 other guys that were doing some pretty cool stuff. And that's where Ben and I met in, I think, 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, it was a short ride. I think I was there for like a year.
Yeah.
And that's when I went to work for Sonder.
Yeah.
I launched Florida for Sonder in 2016.
Yeah.
But we stayed in touch. We kept working out together. You lured me to that obstacle course racing gym we loved.
Yeah. During the pandemic, we were working out with cinder blocks.
That's right.
And another business idea came out of there. We were working out with cinder blocks in Belmead. I had a bunch of cinder blocks in my backyard, and we actually started a company called CinderFit, and we patented a a piece of fitness equipment that looks like a cinder block, but in different weights. Super versatile. I gave that a run for a couple of years. The business still exists, but I always knew I was going to come back to real estate, and that's why we started the podcast.
I still work out with those blocks every day.
I do too. They're awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite workout for sure.
Yeah, so check out cinderfit.com.
There you go.
If you want to get
Selfless
jacked.
plug.
Yeah, exactly.
We were making all the husbands in Belmead pissed off. We were walking around the block carrying cinder blocks. Everyone was like, "What the fuck are these guys doing out there?"
The alpha dads were out there.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So that's so then that's how Ben and I have known each other. We've known each other for about 10 years almost, I think, right, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
And always stayed in touch and started the podcast and basically started brokering deals about a year and a half ago. But we just launched our own brokerage because this world needs more brokerages, right, Ben?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, look, we just saw such an opportunity to brand the brokerage and the podcast and try to bridge that gap and use the relationships we were building and just kind of put it all in a pot together and see what happened.
Yeah. And so our focus is brokerage. Podcast is sort of like a side hustle of sorts. But we really, we're already starting to see that those relationships that we've created over cocktails on the podcast, we're starting to see some deals come out of that. And then we're also connecting with our listeners, which have also been super supportive of what we're doing.
And what's cool is even like at the Cafecito Club, I do it a lot where there will be other brokers there.
Let's back it up. What is the Cafecito Club?
Okay, so we figured we want to meet you guys. We want to meet all these people that are downloading these podcasts. If you enjoy listening to us, you must be cool people.
Yeah,
by default,
most likely.
So we started this Cafecito Club thing because we hate the stiff, the name tags, the panels. I hate networking. It's just really tough for me. It's just so corny and forced. But we're like, man, why don't we do it different? Let's just do a low-key way. Come in, grab a coffee, hang out, chat with the other listeners. Maybe we can make some connections.
Yeah.
And it's so natural and fun to do. We really enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed getting to meet you guys and connect people there as well. It's not just about us doing deals. It's about our listeners doing deals as well. Like I love connecting other brokers to other principals. And if someone else specializes in this and I see an opportunity over here to connect these people, I always try to do that. And I think it's such a cool thing to see the connections being made.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit more of a networker than you probably, Ben. I enjoy it. There's plenty of opportunity out there, I think. And so, we just want to connect the dots with people and, eventually I think karma will catch up and, that will come around back to us.
I think what it does too, this podcast and the networking and the Cafecito Club is authenticity. In this day and age, authenticity is the name of the game. We're all so tired of the fake facade, of the polish, of things are just bullshit. Like you're just like, nah, I know that's fake. I know that guy's full of shit. I know he's just, pretending to be something he's not. And I think that's really where it's helped us build relationships is that people listen to the pod. We're not putting up a facade here.
What you see is what you get, for better or worse.
So when we meet people, there's like not really that hurdle of like getting to know us is lower. Obviously, we don't know the listeners, which is why Cafecito Club is so fun. But when we meet people, they already get our humor. They know a lot of our background. They know where we're coming from. They know we generally know what we're talking about. So it's kind of lowered those barriers to do deals.
Yeah, and I can generally say that everyone that's come to the Cafecito Club, and this will be our fourth one that's coming up on September 12th. We've done 3 so far. I don't think we've met one douchebag at the Cafecito Club.
No, I haven't seen one. And we'd call them out.
Yeah, we'd call them out. Everyone's been super cool.
Yeah.
And so, we're doing our next Cafecito Club at what is it, Central Fair at the Brightline station.
Yeah, you're probably going to get slapped with an ad for that too. Sorry, but we're excited.
Well, we're going to plug it anyways here. So we're doing that on September 12th at Central Fair at the Brightline station. We went to go check it out today. Super cool venue, by the way.
And Felix hooked it up. Thank you, Felix Bendersky. He was one of our past guests. He curated that whole tenant base, I believe.
Yeah, and who are the tenants there?
Man, we had lunch at Mother Wolf, and those are...
Oof.
I took one bite and I told Felipe, I was like, best tacos in Miami.
Excellent.
Like, blew my mind. What's up, Builties? Popping in to let you guys know that Cafecito Club is popping off again September 12th at the Brightline station.
Yeah, this is going to be our 4th Cafecito Club. We started back in May, and it's just been growing. We have a ton of cool people coming out and just chilling with us, sipping some great coffee, some great conversations. So we're going to be at the Central Fair Food Collective on September 12th, 9 a.m.-ish Miami time. Join us, network, and meet some other cool people.
Yeah, I mean, look, networking is just so annoying, but this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's super chill. No name tags.
No bullshit. Just come say what up, grab a coffee, and if we all suck, you can leave right away.
Yeah, and generally we're there from 9 a.m. to 10:30ish, 11. So pop in for 5 minutes, stay for an hour and a half, and we hope to meet some of our listeners there. Some of our guests will be there as well.
Looking forward to seeing you guys there. Mother Wolf or
Pepe's is there.
Pepe's is there. Stanzione Pizza.
Yep.
Rosetta Bakery's there. El Turco is there. And there's some other underground chefs that I don't remember the names, but it's an insane lineup of vendors.
Yeah, and it was packed today. We went there during lunch, so we're excited to see that it's off to a good start. They've only been open for I think a month and a half, so go Brightline.
Yeah, that's sick. And should we plug Cocktail Club, or is it too early?
I don't know. Maybe it's.
I mean, we don't need to set a date, but we're also kind of percolating the idea of a cocktail club, maybe doing that quarterly.
Yeah.
So we'll give more details on that when we firm that up, but that'll be something coming down the pike as well.
It's coming in October. We have a really special guest, hopefully, that's going to come in all the way from New York.
That'd be sick.
One of the GOAT in commercial brokerage.
Yeah.
He really is the GOAT.
He really is, probably. Yeah. He's the guy.
We've got a date scheduled. And so we're probably going to do a podcast with the GOAT and then transition from podcast over to our first cocktail club in October.
Yep, that'll be fun.
So we'll do it quarterly. We can't be drinking every week and then
it gets to be a lot.
It gets to be a lot.
We sat down today. We haven't recorded in a month, man. We stacked up so many because we knew summer was going to be tough. And we sat down and started drinking today. We're like, man,
yeah,
we haven't drank in a long time.
I haven't had a cocktail in like a month and a half. It feels good, actually.
What, the cocktail or the break?
Well, the break.
Or both.
Both.
I mean,
yeah.
Second sip on the Ocho.
When it hits your lips, it tastes so good.
You can't deny the power of the Ocho.
Yeah, you can't.
Should we pop into what we're working on?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Is there anything else we want to cover about the podcast or the brokerage?
I don't think so.
I guess we can talk a little bit before we talk into the submarkets that we're focused on to let you guys know what we're doing. Kind of our approach. I mean, we, as brokers, we try to add as much value to owners as possible because we know brokers are relentlessly annoying.
And there's nothing worse than a property owner getting a call from a broker saying,
"You want to sell?
You want to sell? I got an off-market listing for you." It's like, oh, fuck, another one of these. Yeah. I mean, they must get like dozens of those calls every week.
Well, we know they do because we call them.
We call them.
And we're a little bit nicer. Yeah. And they're like, dude, do you know how many calls I get a day?
Yeah.
Like,
at least they're having a conversation with us.
Kindly F off.
So, this is not a rocket science business. But, we've learned a lot from the GOAT too that's coming in.
Yep.
And we just try to add value. So we've been putting together these market reports for all the 5 sub-markets that we're really focused on.
Going back to our data and analytics roots,
yeah,
it's really important to us because we see a lot of brokerages, and if you do this, maybe this will be your note to stop doing this. But the big firms will start putting together these market reports that are just completely, it's like the average lease rate in Miami is X. It's like, well, that's not really helpful.
Yeah,
like
Miami-Dade County, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I own a warehouse in Miami. Cool. Like the average across the entire county is not really helpful for what. So we've been really focused on sub-markets, and we break each market down within the boundaries that we believe is the sub-market boundaries. And then run comps and give owners, information on every single transaction that's occurred in that submarket. We also chart price trends over 5 years. So we're very analytical in our approach, and we do cold call owners, but it's a much softer approach. It's more of a long-term relationship building approach, just trying to give them information that's helpful to them. Because we put ourselves in the owner's shoes. What would they want to see? I don't want to get a call from a broker saying, do I want to sell? Because I don't want to sell. But if you give me some information that's valuable, maybe I'll keep that. Maybe I'll give you a call someday.
Yeah, and it's really about building a relationship with those owners, and we're in this for the long game. It's not the short game. We're not trying to be transactional. We do think that we understand the market well enough, and we have a good background in real estate, and we understand trends. And so we just really want to be a resource to people that are not in it day to day like we are.
And most people aren't. Most in the areas we're focused on, most of them are owner users, which is good and bad. It's not great for us because it's less transactions, less turnover, less sales volume. But on the other side, the moat's quite high. It's very difficult to penetrate these owner occupied areas, and it's a much longer relationship building cycle. But once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, and so our whole investment thesis really is about Class B urban core warehouses. We're big believers in the industrial space, smaller warehouses, and the markets that we're really focused on are Allapattah, East Hialeah, West Hialeah, Golden Glades, and Opa-Locka. So we've defined these 5 submarkets. We've put market reports that only show data for those specific submarkets. So transaction volume, number of transactions, median price, average price. We graph this all out and show you the trends on what's happening, and then all the most recent transactions, which is the most important thing.
And obviously that's not like exactly applicable information for every owner. It's a case-by-case basis, whether you have 8-foot ceilings or 30-foot ceilings, whether it's dock height, grade, don't have 3-phase, we have 3, all these things affect value, but at least owners can get a general idea of where they sit within the market and what the market's doing more broadly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really, to Felipe's point, it's about spotting trends and making decisions on what's going on in the market and each individual personal owner's situation.
So, all right, let's talk about why we're obsessed with Class B warehouses in the urban core. So, limited supply, right, Ben?
Limited supply. Yeah, they're not. It's really tough to build, so they're not building more of it right now.
Especially the small stuff. Like everything that's been built in the last 4 or 5 years is all out west, like west of the airport. The distances are much longer to get to the urban core. And it's not the small bay stuff.
It's all like 50,000 foot plus Class A.
Yeah, even more, probably like 100, 200,000 square foot.
Yep.
So anything, within the 5 to 50,000 square foot warehouses, they're just not building that.
That's our jam.
Yeah, and so that's our sweet spot. We'll go a little bigger than that, but that's really our kind of our focus. And there's the land in Miami-Dade County. There's only limited land that's zoned industrial. And so what we've seen, I've been in Miami for 25 years. The areas that used to be industrial, Wynwood, Little River, Little Haiti.
Even Allapattah, parts of Allapattah.
Even parts of Allapattah. Yep. These were all the, more old school industrial areas. And they're being gentrified. So Wynwood, for example, you're going to be hard pressed to find a warehouse there now, right?
It's like $800 a foot.
Yeah. And they've been converted to retail, or they've been redeveloped into apartments or condos, offices. And so there's going to be Miami. We still think it's going to continue growing, and so there's always going to be a need for warehouse space. And warehouse spaces are so flexible. You can convert them into office, showrooms, keep them industrial. There's just it's the most flexible asset class there is. And so we just think that, industrial warehouses close to the urban core, that the upside is there.
And I think the interesting thing too is you mentioned its replacement cost is way above current values.
Yeah.
We've looked at a lot of land and worked with some industrial developers and trying to develop these vacant parcels, but the cost to acquire the land and then the cost to build these things is so crazy. And that's kind of the story across the board in development in Miami right now. It's you're starting to see a lot of development sites get listed publicly. They've been percolating off market for the last year. Guys that bought stuff in 22, 23 and planned to build multifamily can't build anymore. Like interest rates have gone up, rents have stayed flat or declined. These vacant lots are just incurring property taxes and carrying costs, and these guys just have to unload them because nothing pencils. And it's the same in industrial too. I mean, you really can't build on vacant land that makes sense. And plus now the sellers all think every site's a live local project, which, it's like where are the rent comps in Hialeah for me able to build a multifamily on this site? It just doesn't, it barely works when you're close to Wynwood. So going way out west, it really doesn't work. So I think that's a really interesting part of the story is buying below replacement costs right now.
Yeah. And just going back to what Ed Easton said to us too is, industrial land is very much like single family land, right? Like there's nothing more available.
Right.
So, supply is constrained.
And with Live Local, it's even getting more constrained.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing up multifamily there.
Yeah. And then, just location advantage for last mile logistics. People need to be close to the urban core, and, little industrial, warehouses that are 10,000 square feet. There's always going to be a need for that.
Yep. 100%. So should we dive into the submarkets quick? Rapid fire submarkets. We don't want to bore you guys to death.
Yeah, I guess we can go to the. Well, listen. So I want to talk a little bit more about how we're approaching these markets too. I think it's interesting.
Shoot.
So we make it our business to really try to speak to every owner. I think we have a CRM. We use HubSpot. And
we should be getting paid for that shout out.
What's that?
We should be getting paid for that.
Yeah, we should. Because we use the shit out of it.
Hey, we do.
And so, we have a database of, I think, 1,500 to almost 2,000 property owners. Mm-hmm. We know which properties they own. And so we send out, our market reports through the snail mail, believe it or not. And we found this to be probably one of the most effective strategies in getting in touch with property owners.
For sure. The old school way is still the best.
It is. So we mail this, 1,500 pieces of mail go out every quarter with our updated market report.
A lot of paper cuts.
And we send this out, and then we cold call the owners, follow up with them, grab their email address, send it to them via email. We do some door knocking as well.
By the way, if any brokers are listening, this is like the playbook, right?
Yeah,
here.
this is the playbook.
We're telling you guys because we know you're not going to do it. It's too much work.
But this is how it gets done. Like, we've taken the Massimo course, and we're big believers in their strategy, staying top of mind.
Yep.
So it's door knocking, it's mailers, it's emails, it's phone calls, and so we're sending out emails, monthly at least, if not, every couple of weeks.
There's a fine line between being annoying and staying top of mind.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's just an easier phone call. Hey, did you receive our market report? I'm not calling you to see if you want to sell or buy.
Well, we are, but they'll tell us.
Yeah, they'll tell us, exactly. But, we take the soft approach. So that's how we're approaching our business. And we're starting to see some of that to pay off already. Yeah,
look, for some reason people are really reticent to list stuff for sale, which is baffling to me. I guess they don't want to be tied to one broker, especially if that broker sucks. But I would always just recommend have a termination clause and give your property the best chance of being advertised to the widest pool of buyers. Let us create that market pressure to create a bidding war and get yourself the highest and best price, because the reason buyers love off-market deals is because it gives them asymmetrical advantage, right? Yep. Like they have less competition, they can get a deal. Like there's a reason buyers really like that. There's just for the same reason the casinos offer these games. There's a winner. So, that's one thing. That being said, we do have a number of off-market deals because these owners are reticent to list. But we're real listing brokers. That's our game. We want to list properties, market them well, use the pod to blast it out. Use our marketing strategy to blast it out. And I think, we have some interesting angles there as well to create pressure. And that's really where you get the highest price, is when you create that bidding pressure. Not just advertising, if average market sales or median market sales in Hialeah is $232 a foot, we're not going to list it at $300 a foot. That's a waste of time for everybody.
Yeah.
We'd rather get a reasonable seller. Let's list it at a price and let's build the momentum and push that. That's how you really achieve maximum pricing for an asset.
Yeah, and we're also, we're building this database that we have too. So a lot of those owners are active in the market, and so we'll be, if you list with us, we will also syndicate the listing to all the property owners in those submarkets that are active as well. So those are probably the most likely buyers.
For sure.
People that are active in that market. So
for sure.
we have the phone numbers, we have those email addresses, and we're building relationships with those people.
And because of the pod, we get a lot of inbound from groups that are buying, groups that are looking for this type of stuff, even PR firms for these groups that are asking to be on the pod. And we're like, listen, you're not quite cool enough to be on the pod, but if you're looking to buy some stuff, we'll show you some deals. So the database keeps getting bigger because of all this. So it's all kind of a feedback loop that helps the marketing and the pushing of these properties. Felipe, ever since we moved into Bureau, my productivity has been through the roof. I mean, I might actually be getting things done for once.
The energy at Bureau just makes work fun. Plus, with 8 locations across South Florida, from South Miami all the way to Hollywood, there's no excuse for not finding a spot to get your shit done, Ben.
And we're not alone. Over 500 local companies call Bureau home. Everything from creative agencies and real estate firms to tech startups, law firms, and media companies. It's a melting pot of brilliant people, and we don't include ourselves in that category.
We definitely don't include ourselves in that category. Bureau really has space for anyone, whether you're flying solo or have a team. There are suites starting at 100 square feet all the way up to 2,000 square feet. They also don't try to lock you into long-term agreements, and everything is month to month.
Let's not forget the important stuff either. The coffee is top tier, staff is incredible, and has a very entrepreneurial vibe. It's not just a workspace, it's a place where work actually gets done.
That's right, Ben. So if you want to level up your workday like we try to do every day, check out Bureau. You might even catch us sipping some espressos between podcast sessions.
Or tequila.
Definitely tequila.
Tell Bureau the Built World sent you, and you'll get 50% off your first month's membership. See you out there. Cheers.
Later.
If your Instagram is collecting dust, so are your leads.
That's why we started working with Sage Marketing, and I gotta say, they're dialed in, Ben.
Yeah, they'll build out your content, help you with your brand voice, and even create custom reels for you. Stuff that looks good, authentic, and performs.
Whether you just need strategy, someone to train your team, or you're ready to hand it all over, Sage has packages for whatever level you're at.
And the best part, you can book a free 15-minute discovery call. No pressure, just a quick call to see where you're at and how they can help.
Hit up socialmedia.sage on Instagram or check the show notes for the link. If you're serious about growing your brand this year, this is the move. Cool. Let's talk about the submarkets. Let's start with East Hialeah because that's the one we've been working the most.
Big dog. That's the big dog. That's the big dog market. That's the biggest submarket we focus on. It really goes from 112 to Opa-Locka. We separated East and West Hialeah just because there's a little bit of difference pricing. West Hialeah has a little bit softer pricing than East Hialeah. East Hialeah is composed more of larger format warehouses. Obviously, it's a total mishmash, but you get I think the average square foot in East Hialeah is probably between 15 to 20,000.
Probably, yeah.
And West Hialeah is a little bit lower, more small bay focused. Any anecdotes about East Hialeah that you want to share?
Well, I think East Hialeah is interesting just because of its proximity to the urban core, right? And it runs, from the 112 all the way north. And so it's easy to get to 95. Where West Hialeah, it's a little trickier to get to the highways. So that's one of the reasons why the price per square foot there is it's a little bit higher just because the warehouses are a little smaller, but it's not as desirable as East Hialeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that kind of talks a little bit about West and East Hialeah. Allapattah, we just started hitting Allapattah.
Hold on, East Hialeah, I forgot to mention, we have a couple off-market deals there. If anybody likes the area, we have 2 deals there. One is a larger assemblage of mainly BU3 zoned properties with some industrial zoned.
Yeah.
A lot of square footage, a lot of iOS, a decently sized warehouse. Do you remember how many square foot that one is?
I don't, Ben.
Okay, we'll look it up. But that's an interesting one. And then there's also another one where a guy has way below market leases in place, open to selling. There's a mark-to-market opportunity there. We built a whole model around that. So just throwing those 2 out there if anybody's looking at East Hialeah stuff. We also have a whole running roster of East Hialeah off-market deals. So if anyone's curious or looking for acquisitions in the area, we'd love to chat with you about it.
Yeah. Moving on to Allapattah. We also have an off-market deal in Allapattah too.
Yep, another iOS/warehouse deal.
Yeah.
20,000 square foot warehouse, 70,000 square foot lot. Looks like a favela, but a lot of upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity there. And a motivated seller. We're finding, it's a weird time where the market dynamics, like we've talked about with Anthony and Juan, with the interest rates the way they are, with sellers still holding out for top dollar, buyers hoping for deals, it's really pretty slowed down transaction volume wise. So people selling now are really people that need to sell. So we're finding, people that are getting older that just want to cash out, make sure they're not leaving their loved ones with problems to deal with, certain personal situations, and we have the lead on a lot of those. So that's really where we're finding people willing to sell these days at prices that make sense.
Well, warehouse prices have doubled in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So in the next 5 years,
They're going to double again.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet.
If you talk to any other broker, right?
I'm willing to bet that's not going to happen. And we're starting to see lease rates softening a little bit. The bigger stuff is staying on the market a lot longer.
What happened to Miami to the moon?
Maybe in 20 years.
All right, I'm on. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. So we're starting to see things slow down a little bit, but the bottom's not going to fall out. Miami's still, people still want to move here. So things will slow down a little bit, I think, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, unless, something crazy happens, the debt pressures aren't there like they were in 2008. People aren't really over levered. The banks are terrified. So, they're not really getting crazy with any lending. So the fundamentals are more or less there. We just need a price correction. It's just, we're seeing leasing slow down, especially when we're talking about East Hialeah. I think everyone is claiming $18 rents, $18, $20 rents a year ago. And, and we've seen some warehouses that have $13 rents, albeit, rough properties, but they sat on the market for over a year.
Yep.
So, that the lease rates have really started to soft. We really haven't seen sale prices come down yet, but they're kind of at that critical point where volumes drop, but price hasn't quite dropped yet. So we're kind of there. I think this is the era where you just got to lob LOIs. Yeah. You got to throw offers out. It's really an exercise of make a bunch of offers and find the buyers who are motivated.
I mean, we just saw that listing that was presented to us off market in Opa-Locka, right? At $220 a square foot, it just traded at $150.
Yep.
So the secret is lobbing LOIs.
Yep.
You gotta man up or cowboy up or woman up, and
But that's always been the story in Miami.
Yeah.
It's people. I come from Minnesota. Gringos are used to being very logic and pragmatic, and they're not going to ask a crazy price. In Miami, we're all asking crazy prices. Because of the trajectory of the city. So it's always been that way. People have always asked ridiculous prices. Buyers have always made ridiculously low offers, and then we all end up somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you got to call bullshit, right? And the way you call bullshit is with an LOI.
With an LOI, that's
exactly.
Right. And then be willing to walk away.
Exactly.
This is our offer. Take it, or not take it or leave it. But we're not that motivated to where we're going to spend 3 months negotiating this.
Exactly.
Allapattah, yeah. Is that where we were at? We're
at Allapattah. So Allapattah, the location is incredible. In many ways, it feels like the next Wynwood.
Yeah, be careful saying that.
Yeah.
The prices just went up 30%.
Yeah. And it's kind of the next warehouse frontier. Warehouses are really small there.
They're small.
You're going to be hard pressed to find anything over 20, 30,000 square feet there. And if there is, there are not very many there.
Yep.
But it's got a great street grid. It's got sidewalks. It's got the infrastructure. And it's got favorable zoning. We see the natural progression of Miami growing into Allapattah.
I mean, for example, we see median prices in East Hialeah right now at $232 a foot. Allapattah is at $284 a foot. And you'll see routinely sales above $300 a foot.
Yeah.
A lot of it's getting converted to retail.
Yep.
There's a lot of development projects trying to go in there. I had to slap the shit out of somebody trying to sell a crazy development site recently because these live local projects, man, they don't pencil. It's really tough. Even if the land is free, the equity markets, they want to see these yield on cost numbers that are almost impossible to achieve. So, but that being said, I think it's still a ripe for opportunity on the small bay side, on the smaller format warehouse side. We really like that area a lot. And, the prices are reflective of that.
And then we start going up a little bit north, Opa-Locka and Golden Glades. Opa-Locka, the warehouses are bigger. They're a little newer. Yep. The proximity to downtown is a little, less favorable. Things are moving there, sort of.
Sort of. I mean, that's one where sales volume's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
We saw... I'll read off some stats, which is what I talked shit about in the beginning. But, we saw in 21 and 22 record number of sales up there, 26 and 24 sales respectively, number of transactions. We like looking at number of transactions and total sales volume because the total sales volume can be skewed by a few giant sales, which often happens in like these type of submarkets that have big warehouses where you have Blackstone buying and selling huge swaths of property.
Shout out to Long Point.
Exactly.
They're buying a bunch of shit there.
Yep, they're killing it. So 26 sales in 21, 24 sales in 22, 12 sales in 23, 14 in 24, 3 so far in 2025.
Yeah.
So it's really slowed down. And that 3 sales in 2025 was as of the summer. So it's really ticked down. There's one really big sale there, $50 million sale there, and another $160 million sale there in end of 2024 that really boosted the volume numbers. But like we were saying before, the volume total number of sales has really dropped. So we're expecting prices to follow. Lease rates have fallen as well. And Golden Glades has seen a similar trajectory. You know, Golden Glades, there's only been one sale to date so far this year. And the average for the past 5 years, I would say, is around 10.
Smaller market.
For sure.
But it's really a great location. And I think it's an unrecognized location with its accessibility to Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I mean, we were just up there, and within 2 minutes, you're on 95.
Heading south.
You're heading south, and you're literally in Miami, 15 minutes you can probably get down to Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
especially from that property we were at.
Yeah, in the middle of the day. During the morning hour, you're looking at 40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But it's a great location. You're close to the turnpike, access to the beaches. So those are the 5 markets that we're really focused on. We wanna be the guys when it comes to sell to represent you.
100%.
Yeah.
And we should be bringing one to market pretty soon up there.
I think so. Yeah, a brand new construction one too.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have that coming to market in the next month and a half or so.
Yeah.
A little 9,000 square foot warehouse if anyone's interested.
Nothing crazy, but it should be brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
This episode is brought to you by Built World Advisors. Yeah, that's us. We're not your typical commercial brokerage. We combine deep market knowledge with a media platform that actually connects to people doing deals, the developers, brokers, architects, and attorneys.
Let's not forget the investors, Ben. From warehouses in East Hialeah to off-market gems in Allapattah, we help you find value where others aren't looking. If you're tired of waiting for opportunities to land in your inbox, let's talk.
Built World Advisors, real estate for the people who get shit done. You can check us out at builtworldadvisors.com. Prediction time?
Prediction time?
Is that where we're at?
I think so. What are our predictions?
What's Miami industrial market look like in 12 months?
I think it's going to be driven by interest rates.
Jay Powell, smash that button.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
Let's do it.
It's almost like he's digging his heels in because Trump's just giving him so much shit.
Yeah. But I think interest rates are going to start coming down. It sounds like they are.
Yeah, didn't you say something you heard something that they're expecting a cut in the next month or so? When's the next Fed meeting?
Yeah, it's in September.
Yeah.
There's talk of a 0.5 point. I don't know. I think that's a little over ambitious.
Yeah, I would say.
But I think interest rates will start coming down.
But does that even get the market moving? We were talking to Grant at the last Cafecito Club. Shout out Grant. And we were talking
Black salmon, right?
Yeah. And the 10-year, it's going to hold strong.
Yeah.
And the government really doesn't control the tail end of this interest rate curve. So with the spending where that has to happen to finance these interest payments, does the broader world still believe in the U.S. and Miami specifically as a place to invest?
Yeah. My answer is yes.
I think so too. There's nowhere else to go. Where else are you going to go? Where else do we invest? Like I can't. Everyone else is doing worse than us.
Yeah, it's true.
I think.
Yeah, for now.
I could be ignorant, but yeah, I think hopefully interest rates will drop. Hopefully sellers will start. I think a lot of it too is getting acclimated to the new interest rate environment. It takes some time. People don't want to take haircuts right off the bat. Everyone's been waiting for a rate cut for the last 12 to 18 months. So it's been a lot of wait and see, and there's only so much wait and see we can do. So my prediction is in the next 12 months, we're going to see a lot more transactions. I expect number of transactions and sales volume to pick up. But it's not going to be easy. It's still going to be a grind.
And I mean, we're starting to see lease rates kind of, slow down and even decline a little bit.
For sure.
So I think that's going to force the hand of some people to start offloading some warehouses.
For sure. Yeah, and as they age out and they're like, look, I don't want to keep trying to catch this falling knife. Let's just dump this thing and move on. It takes some time to get over the mental hurdle that buyers aren't paying the same price they were 12 to 24 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's time to accept it. It's not coming back, in the foreseeable future until, that the market rebounds and starts going crazy again, which takes some time.
Yep. What else we got, Ben? I think we covered a lot.
We did.
Anything else we want to talk about?
You have a note here about what's the weirdest warehouse feature you've seen this year.
Oof. Weirdest warehouse.
We did see a massage table in one warehouse. Oof. That was fucking weird.
That place was... We've seen some dirty places.
Do you remember that one?
Oh, my God. People were living in the warehouse.
We've seen people living in them. Yeah.
So
that's what we really like too, though. Not so much the massage tables, but we like the dynamism. Is that a word?
It sounds like it is.
I'm gonna make it a word.
It is a word.
The dynamism of just like how many different uses these warehouses have. We see FedEx, building their what are those called? Those cargo containers that fit right in the fuselage of like a 737, so they can preload them and just stack them on.
Yep.
We've seen airline engine repairs where you walk in, there's just giant turbines everywhere. We've seen we were in a powder coating factory yesterday.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
A monster.
That was one of the most beautiful warehouses we've seen.
Yep.
It was immaculate.
Yeah.
We were in a recycling
we were
a warehouse in Opa-Locka last week.
Yeah.
Massive. Like how many square? That was like 100,000 square
Plus,
feet or something.
Yeah.
Right?
We feel like little kids.
Yeah.
Big trucks and big buildings.
Lots of toys.
No, we like this shit. So it's fun to talk about and it's fun to work on.
Yeah. So, I think that's it, right, Ben? We don't want to bore you to death.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can find, if you're interested in these reports we keep talking about, it's at our website, builtworldadvisors.com.
Yeah, check out our blog. That's where you'll find all our market reports. We've written some articles there as well. There is the updates on the Cafecito Club. Let's talk a little, who do we have coming up on our podcast?
We have some, what are we allowed to talk about? That's my question.
We can talk about
the ULI event.
Yeah, we do have. So we've been invited to do a couple of live podcasts. We're going to do one with ULI with David Martin. I think this is a invite only event.
Yeah.
So
if you want to get in, you weren't invited. Sorry.
Yeah. We're also doing one with Biz Now.
Or just show up and try to break in. That could be a really good look for us.
Yeah.
Like, look at this crowd we can draw.
Well, Bills and
Our Bilties are banging down the door to get into Bills. It's at Bills and guys.
Yeah. So the security is going to be tight there. We're also doing one with Biz Now. Shout out to Biz Now for inviting us. We're still working on the guest for that, so we can't announce the guest yet.
But two live we've never done a live pod, so that'll be fun.
It'll be something different for us.
We demanded an open bar, so we'll see what we can do for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like the vibe is going to be the same.
Yeah, our rider is pretty simple. We're not looking for red M&Ms. We just want open bar for our listeners.
Yeah, for our listeners and for our guests.
Yeah.
I mean, we're making it almost. If we're gonna do a live podcast, it's got to have the same flow. Cocktails,
same vibe.
And, long form conversation.
Any other guests that we have coming up that we can talk about?
We got Gabe Navarro coming up.
Okay.
Matthew Barron. And who else do we have in the hopper? We have Gerald. What's his name?
Posner?
Gerald Posner and his wife.
Miami Babylon.
From Miami Babylon.
We're both reading. I like to say I'm reading a book when I'm listening to a book, so I sound smarter. But I'm listening. We're both listening to a book called Miami Babylon. It's really about how Miami got built, from Carl Fisher dredging up the islands, the Lummises, building farms on South Beach, and all the way up to where we are today. So it's a really good book. Definitely recommend it. And we're going to have that author on here. When's he coming on? In a couple months?
He's coming up in September.
September. Oh, soon. Okay.
And his better half is going to join us as well. Let me see what her name is.
Is she an author as well?
They
co-write?
They co-write.
That's super cool.
And so let me pull this up real quick.
And he's done a lot of books. He did books about, didn't he do some books about the cartel or something?
He wrote a book about 9/11. He did one. What else did he write?
We're going to have to do a shit ton of research for that one. Because I don't want to leave a topic off the table. That's some really interesting stuff.
He's done JFK. He's done Martin Luther King.
Oh, we're getting in the weeds.
Yeah, we're gonna run through all these conspiracy theories.
I'm full in on JFK.
Yeah,
the CIA definitely did that shit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, sure. Let's see what Gerald says.
For sure. That's my prediction.
So that's coming up. And then I guess should we talk about the goat that's coming down?
I mean, I guess unless he just stiffs us again.
Yeah, which I don't think he will. It's Bob Knackel.
Yeah.
He is the goat of commercial brokerage.
And when I say stiffs us, I just mean reschedule. We had him on before, and his travel plans changed. So if he changes again, maybe we'll have to push it back. But he's a really cool guy. Been in communication with us. He's super down to do the pod, but he's trying to coordinate travel from New York. So that's always a moving target.
So we'll eventually get him, I think.
For sure.
And that's going to be great for all the brokers that are listening to us, because we're really going to dig into his strategy. And it's probably one of the most unique podcasts he'll do, because I don't think he's ever done a podcast with a cocktail. And I know Bob likes to have a cocktail.
Does he?
Yeah, I think
What's
so.
his drink? Do you know?
I don't know. I joined him for a cocktail with him and Beth Azor.
Oh, that's right.
About a year ago here in Miami.
Where'd you guys go?
It was somewhere downtown,
okay.
Rooftop somewhere.
Got it.
But going back to Gerald Posner and Trisha Posner.
Okay.
They're going to join us on September 11th.
Cool.
And then I think we're going to follow up the Bob Knackel podcast with a Cafecito or a cocktail club event, which will also probably be at the Brightline station.
Yeah. So come down and talk to Bob, grab a drink, shake hands. I think the cocktail club's a little different format. I mean, it's kind of the same as Cafecito Club. Probably people just talk louder.
Probably talk louder. Just don't get trash, people. Like, be on your best behavior.
Speak for yourself.
Be doing keg stands, shots. What else are we doing, Ben?
Oh man, beer pong.
Beer pong.
We should get some games involved.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think we'll get Brightline on board on this one.
They're in.
They're in.
We were there today. They're in.
They're in.
Really cool. Really cool group there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you guys have made it this long, thanks for sticking with us. We really enjoy doing this, so we're going to keep these pumping out. It's been a slow summer, but we're excited to get back into it. As school started, my kids started school this week, so we're starting kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, and if you know someone cool that wants to be on the podcast, again,
or even if you don't know them, even if it's just an idea.
Yeah, even if it's an idea,
hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. We really just want people with cool stories.
Yeah,
a good track record, not douchebags. Don't take themselves too seriously.
Yep.
Those are the kind of people we like to hang out with.
Yep, those are our peeps.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Builties, thank you so much. We promise not to do this too often, because I know you guys are here for our guests, not for us. And we're totally cool with that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, cheers, guys. Have a great week, and we'll hear you on the next one.
Yeah. Later, guys.